I wonder how many of our boys and girls here this morning have either wanted to see something or wanted to get something or just desired to have something so bad that you could just hardly wait. You ever have that? Yes, I think most of us have. I want to tell you a story this morning about our family that wanted to see something just so bad that we could just hardly stand it. When I was out of school, finished the seminary, I was 3 months in Muskegon, Michigan with an evangelistic series of meetings. And one day we received a letter telling us that we were to locate in Iron Mountain, Michigan. We didn't even know where Onslow of Michigan, way up on top, right up on top of Wisconsin, up near Lake Superior. We had quite a time in the next few weeks trying to remember our address because there's also an Iron River. And we also had that church. We had a church in Iron River, a church in Iron Mountain, and we were going to live in Iron Mountain. My mother-in-law never did get it straight. And she wasn't sure whether we lived in Iron Mountain or Iron River. But anyway, in that part of the world, there are some bears. And we just wanted to see a bear in the wild so bad. One of our members that attended the Iron Mountain Church, he was our lay activities leader, lived 50 miles north at a little town called Republic. It's a little mining town. He runs a gamble store there. And occasionally we would drive up on an evening to pay the family a visit and then drive back home that 50 miles through which was just basically wood country. Our children were much smaller then. Tom was able to lay down crosswise in the back of the car. And we were coming home one evening in our little Rambler station wagon, and the children were laying down in the back. We'd put the seat down. They were asleep. And we were driving, and as we came around the curve, Barb and I saw two eyes. And as we went by, I said, "That's a bear." And she agreed. Well, it just seemed like spontaneously Tom and Terry woke up. "Where's the bear? Where's the bear?" And by that time I was making a U-turn in the highway. There was nobody coming. And as the lights came back, sure enough, we focused and there were those eyes again. And it was a big, black, huge object. And I drove right off on the wrong side of the road, right down in the edge of the ditch. And when we got about as close as I am from here to Brother Klein, the organist, with the car and the lights, we all burst into laughter. It was a big... So we didn't see our bear. The years that we lived there, there was only one time that we saw a bear in the wild. One Sabbath morning, very early, we were on our way to Newberry, which was about 150 miles from where we lived. We were holding meetings there. And my wife and the children were all sleeping that time, and I was awake driving, and I saw a bear just like a flash go across the highway. And I called, but by the time they got awake, he was gone. All those years we wanted to see a bear in the wild, but we lived there and we never did. Now we saw lots of bears, those that had been killed, some in the zoo, the game reserves and things that are there, but we never saw one in the wild until some years later. We went back and we were visiting these same people up in Republic, Michigan, and we had mentioned that we had always wanted to see a wild bear. Never had. And they said, "Well, let's go this evening. I think that we can show you one." And we went out to the garbage dump. Just at dusk, we saw 4 bears, a mother and 2 cubs, and another bear, come, and they came out into the garbage dump, and they stood up, and we were able to get a good view of some wild bear in the wild. You know, as I have thought about that, the years since those days, I've said to myself, you know, it was really strange that the years that we lived there, that we didn't go to the right place at the right time. Because people told us about the garbage dumps in most of the cities around there, that the bears came. And we could have gone there and seen a bear in the wild, but we didn't. We just hoped by chance we'd see one someday. And you know, boys and girls, That reminds me of our relationship to God. If we're going to see God, if we're going to find God, we're going to have to be at the right place at the right time. That's why we have Sabbath school and church and prayer meeting and the week of prayer that Elder Berlin just mentioned. Bringing us together at the right times, at the right places, so we can see God. So if you want to see things of nature, go to the right places, the right times. Last year we wanted to hear the elk bugle. Some people told us when it would happen, the places that you could go, and we went, and we hadn't been there 5 minutes till we heard the elk bugle. The right place, the right time. We wanted to see a bear. We went to the right place, the right time of day. And it's that way with God. Be at the right places and there at the right time.